Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode 39, and it is the first day of December, which means it's no longer November. The floodgates have opened. My name's Nanashi. I'll be your host for the evening, and I apologize in advance for whatever this show's going to be.
I'm looking at the stream, and I just see Crocodile from One Piece towering over everyone.
Well, because you didn't have an interactive image set up, that's the best I could do. You're just kind of watching everyone from behind the couch, because otherwise you'd be too tall for this room, man.
I know, he towers over all of us.
That's basically what I'm going to do for anyone who doesn't have a reactive image and ends up popping in randomly. It's going to be the best thing I can really do. But getting back on track, joining us tonight is a myriad of personalities. Starting at the top of the list alphabetically, we've got AI Gnister still riding that Kamen Rider skin.
Well, time to kill off another Tokusatsu character this year.
We have the original Yugi Memer himself, Connor Lockhart.
The Star Beast was good. Its ending was not.
Noted. We have our fellow furry Yugi tuber, Mr. Orichalcos.
Okay. Quick, think of a introduction. Pee pee poo poo.
Are you 9?
What?
Not gonna lie, that was the least convincing improvised intro ever.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I've heard worse.
It's like you don't know. I think
Could
only
you-
I
I'll
understand
do
the reference.
reference post editing.
It's fine. We'll figure something out.
Could you imagine if that's how actual people introduce themselves?
Probably. I mean, there is a character out there named Peepoodoo.
Oh no. Don't
Yeah,
forget.
I'll fill you in on that one later. He is the wild child himself. It's Lone.
Hey everyone, I'm the only one that probably understood Ori's earlier reference.
Well, I didn't.
Then why didn't you comment?
But I don't know what the reference is. I was just
That was
acting like an
I'll
idiot.
send it to you in post. I'll send it to you in DMs.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Anyway,
Okay. He's been gone for a while, but he finally decided to grace us with his presence again. It's Noctic.
I do Petra's Run Ship is on Destiny 2. You can raid report me. It's Rainman, hashtag 1554.
Noted. Spam that shit. He is the thing that goes bumping tonight. It's Raven.
I just got done with 2 playthroughs of the Dead Space remake, and I think that cured my RSV the other week.
We have our token salad player, Renegade Wings.
Now with 20% more fire dragon.
Wonderful. As if we needed more reasons to have Fire Hole. And he's here in all his protogenic glory. It's Zivuth.
Holy Kravat again.
Okay, so first things first, let's get this out of the way. How has everyone been in the last month?
I'm sick.
Ooh. Yeah.
Well,
right.
I had to get some stuff on eBay, and you already know my immediate mistrust of eBay.
Yeah.
And
I got my booster jab
Oh,
Very nice.
and
Very
my
nice.
flu jab at the same time.
because one of the
Very
I finished Kagero. I'm getting Darkhold Dragon for my RDA. It's a weird tech that someone kicked my ass with.
I bought Belphamon, a bunch of Shining Greymon things. What I'm missing for EX4 Alliance. A bunch of things for my Hunter's deck. One option for my D-Brigade deck, and a random Yu-Gi-Oh card of all things.
Meanwhile, I was part of the Diabormon sweep.
nice.
Explain why in the Digimon segment.
And me and Ori finally got the 2-part sequel out.
Well,
Yes.
if anybody's known about what's going on with me, I lost my voice last week.
Oh shoot.
What happened?
I don't know. I just woke up one moment and I didn't have it anymore. I found it under the couch, but I gotta kind of force it back down my throat.
Sounds the norm.
Well, It's still not back yet. I still can't hit my high notes, and I got a little bit of grovel in the back of my throat, but I'm getting there.
It's
That's
like
what
really
matters.
subtle over the mic, but you can hear like a sort of hint of it. But you also sound normal too, which is weird.
I just have a little bit of drainage in the back of my throat right now. I've managed to get just about everything back. I mean, the worst part was that the day after it happened, I had to train a new guy at work.
Oh,
no.
Yikes.
You had to use side language.
Please, if I ever use sign language, people will think I'm throwing up gang signs.
Like Master Roshi.
No, better than
yeah.
that, I'll be performing
Yeah,
some
hold on.
unknown jutsu and my couch will just start floating in the next room.
That
Oh, yeah, hold
remind
on.
that
Go ahead.
that Nanashi's talking about. If I ever tried to do sign language, I'm gonna look like I'm throwing up gang signs. It reminded me of this thing I saw, where it was like two deaf kids whenever they get into an argument, and it's just that scene from Naruto where they're just doing the hand signals at each other.
We had that in like 3 hours to summon like a water dragon. It's probably more.
That's gonna be Nanashi if he ever tries to learn that. He's gonna look like he's failing at trying to do a basic genjutsu.
Yeah, sad part is where my hands only have 4 digits. It's gonna be even worse for me.
Oh dear.
Okay, anyways, before I forget, like the same day I got like my Age of Overlord packs, I just so happened to find Raven at the mall. Not Raven in person, but
Hey, oh yeah, so
Plague
one of
Doctor.
those squishable plushies.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have like the Plague Doctor ones.
yeah.
Was it the huge one that's like the size of a pumpkin?
Yeah, and it was also one of those like cutesy couple ones. I got stuck with a woman, guys. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Or the Among Us one?
Okay, so I've received a special request. See, Zivuth's been having a tough past couple of days. He's been doing a lot of IT seminars and a lot of extra work, and he's really tired. So I want to give him the opportunity to talk about his stuff before we actually get into the show so that he can go ahead and rest, because we've all had bad days. I don't want to make his day any longer.
I
I
Fair.
can relate, yeah.
Fair.
Alright, Ziv, you're up.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm really tired. So, first, I wanted to talk about wrestling topics. I don't know who watched Survivor Series last weekend, but I did. It was honestly an amazing show, except that Cody Rhodes won again. That was annoying as fuck. Like, this clean man can't lose. He has to play the hero every single time.
But who cares about that? Punk's back.
I wanted to talk about it next, so please, yeah.
Go ahead.
First, I wanted to talk about another return, which we can't bury down, honestly, since it's Randy Orton. It's so nice to see this dude back in the ring, and also hitting those RKOs like in the past. Like McDonald got what he deserved, honestly. He got so nice RKO from the top of the cage. He was like dead at that moment.
Ooh. You don't even need to be a wrestling fan to know that that's a bad sign.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wasn't really dead.
Oh, obviously. I mean, very rare that those professional performers actually, die.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, there were a few times where a wrestler really died in the ring, but that was due to a heart attack then, and not to a wrestling move.
Gotcha. I remember reading something about that happening once.
Yeah, but now the more important thing, CM Punk is after 10 years back in the WWE.
I haven't heard that name in
Like-
a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like his
and he
return
hasn't
was
been-
so amazing at Survivor Series. Like the camera was already zooming out, the credits came in for the pay-per-view, and everyone thought it's over. And then his team hits, and he came out like what the fuck. And trust me when I say he got the loudest pop in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, I believe ya. Yeah, he's been out of the industry for a decade.
Like it gave me goosebumps as well when he returned. It just gave chills.
I'm sure it did,
And
man.
then also the epic speech he did at Raw. So my next topic, maybe that's more interesting for you guys, is about Master Duel. We just got the news that the Dragon Rulers are finally free.
I was actually going to cover that when it
Hey,
came
no one
up,
gives
but
a
yeah,
shit.
that's yeah. The Dragon Rulers are coming back. Oh boy.
Dragon
They
Ball
Finally,
Z.
I can play them. How long has it been? Since
Well, they never saw the
2000.
light of day in Master Duel up until now, so ever.
Yeah, but we couldn't play them since 2014, I believe.
Yeah,
Like,
that sounds about right.
That was the year when they
2015.
got killed.
Yeah,
Actually, they were all banned in 2015.
were they?
Long after, yeah.
God, I
long
need to
after the tier 0.5 format came to an end.
Last time I remember.
Actually, they never were tier 0 because of spellbooks.
Yeah,
Thanks to
yeah.
spellbooks, it was only tier 1.
I'm still not gonna get over how Dragon Ruler players cited an Obelisk the Tormentor for the mirror matches.
Does Moss still have Dracossack?
Yeah.
It should.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no reason for them not to. It's not like Dracossack was a problem
I
over
guess
there.
it will be full force.
Yeah. I'm gonna main the
full-force,
Royal
Dragon
Finish
Rulers.
Obelisk in my D-Ruler deck in Master Duel.
Oh, that's
There
gonna
is
be
a
fun.
big problem with
That's
blending
a
legal,
hot
however. In Master Duel.
Also,
words.
welcome back Monkey Board. I just want to say that as a side note.
Oh, bro.
Oh.
No, not Monkey Board.
Oh boy, you saying Monkey Boy just
Oh,
reminded me of
bro.
something, and I'm gonna get to that when we get to the actual topic.
That gave me PTSD.
Wolf
Don't
must
worry,
be happy
Right.
Monkey
about
Board's
this
not
ban
very
list.
good anymore either.
He props throws a
remi-
party right now.
But
Oh,
yeah,
Wow.
there is a problem with the Dragon Rulers being freed in Master Duel. In 2 words. Galaxy Tomahawk.
Wait, that card's
Oh yeah,
not banned
that will
yet?
be fun.
Is
Yeah, it's not banned in Master Duel.
Oh, good grief.
Huh.
Wait. Tomahawk is not banned? What?
Yeah.
I don't think it is,
It's free. in
but it
Master
will be
Duel.
soon if that's the rate.
No.
Hold on.
Hold up.
That is
Oh, boy.
wild.
Isa, what?
Dragon
I
Roller
heard-
top
I heard,
tier, let's go.
Wow.
No, you just triggered the traumatization in me now.
Bro, history repeats itself.
Oh,
Triggered the
Yeah.
tournament trap card over here.
What
Which
is?
one
They
is
just
that?
want to
Yes,
kill
I hear about
Pirelli that
Dragon
way
Rulers and
instead of
Tomahawk.
banning cards.
That ain't good, that ain't good.
No. Oh
Ruffy,
boy.
they're
Hold on,
going
I
to
need to
show
find this out
us.
for myself. I need to find this out for myself.
Yeah, please look into that. We'll get to that in a little bit, of course. But yeah,
Dude.
let's not have conniptions over this just yet.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
wrap my
sorry,
head
it's just
around
like I
that.
want to go to bed, but I also want to talk about those things. You know.
I know you do,
You just
man.
dropped that shit on me, man.
Oh,
Holy
don't-
fuck.
don't,
That's
God.
gonna be wild.
I played this game during Dragon Ruler format, and I want to say they just
So did
dodged
I.
using Galaxy Tomahawk in the game.
Let's
Because
be
yeah, I don't think
honest.
Galaxy Tomahawk came out around then, did it?
That's
Nah, I don't
Konami
think it
way
was.
to kill Pirelli now.
Oh,
I
boy.
think it,
No,
I think it was, not unless it came in like a set after.
Like I could
but I know
really
it
see it
wasn't.
that Dragon Roller becomes a hard counter to that shit.
But I do know that Galaxy Tomahawk wasn't really too much of an issue until Link Summoning became a thing.
Oh, no
Yeah.
kidding.
And guess what's also
That's
allowed in
Yeah,
Master Duel?
It's
Which
almost
card?
like Konami has no sense of future-proofing anything. Oh, mass token swarming with this new mechanic that abuses tokens. Oh gee, whatever will happen, we shouldn't have to ban this card.
As like a
A
Konami.
Catain linked 3 machine monsters also allowed in Master Duel together with Tomahawk.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, what were you going to say, Lom?
As like no, Konami's answer to overpowered old cards is to make even more broken new cards.
Hey, if everything's broken, nothing's
That's
broken.
the power creep.
Oh
Mhm.
no! Oh, we had to ban this new Mecha Phantom Beast support card because tokens are broken.
At least they didn't ban
Trauma is
Bellcat
good
Fighter.
for a bit of trauma is good for the children.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that now there's absolutely no reason to keep
Like, let's
Auroradon
be
banned.
honest, guys. If Pirelli would be that dominant in the CCG, Konami would have killed it right ASAP.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
Auroradon's
Well-
actually fine now that Halkafax is banned and will never be let out of the ban list.
Let's
Yeah,
be
I think you're
honest
right,
here.
actually.
Konami just had to ban X Pirelli Nor and the deck would be dead.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
It's only
they
top
weren't
tier
really-
because of that one cancer XCs.
Wait, hang on.
Uh,
According to ROM, Auroradon is still playable in the game. In Master Duel.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
good.
and Master Duel, but not in the TCG.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, that's
Well-
what I was meaning.
Yes, but we have Tomahawk and Auroradon with Dragon Rulers now.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Sure, Yu-Gi-Oh! Bye.
Oh.
I was gonna... Yeah,
Well,
so
did they get
this
rid
is...
of-
This Dragon Rules and Master Duel is gonna be the most potent version of the deck we've ever seen.
Yes.
Mhm.
And no spellbooks around this time to stop them.
Hold
Okay.
up, is Hulk
We have
banned
cash
in
to
Master
do that.
Duel, or
Mm.
is that still around as well? Because
Because I'm trying to think of the implications, and yeah, this is gonna be even better than the official TCG Dragon Rulers lists. This is this is not okay.
No, it is not.
This is gonna be wild.
Wait,
Okay.
wait, I need to look at the rank 7 pool.
This is gonna be this is literally gonna be the Wild West. People are gonna be
Oh, and they're
Master
getting
Duel
all
is
the
it since day
reviews.
one,
Right,
and
they're
that's
also
not
going
a
to use the Rise
surprise,
Heart, calling it now.
not a secret. Like, look at all the shitty ban lists they make, and then they say, oh, we nerfed actually something. Yes, you actually didn't. The only thing you do is killing flu every single list when it's already dead.
didn't they limit a math mech because they mistook it for like the actual problematic math mech?
Yeah, they
Like,
did the
why
same
the
thing
fuck
to
Konami can't
windups
you
too.
Why the
That's
fuck, Konami,
hilarious.
can't you stop hitting the pots? What did they to you?
Like what was it? They hit linear instead of circular.
Well, this gets
That
us into
was
a
the
ban
most
list
dumbest
discussion.
shit. Like
And-
now, MathMech became even stronger
Yeah.
thanks to the new firewall
that's
dragons
what
that
diameter,
released
not
in the game.
linear. What the fuck am I thinking?
Like, look how many Link 5 monsters MathMech plays now, and they are even stronger than the usual version.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I
Okay.
suppose it's an inevitable problem.
Like, before all the Link 5 games with the newest pack, they just had their Axis interruption and their trap interruption. Now they have 7 to 8 interruption in one turn, and that's unstoppable. Thank you, Konami.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think it's time we
Well,
go ahead
I'm
and
going to bed now.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and go to bed then. We'll go ahead and continue the show. And thank you for
Alright.
sharing. You gave us a lot to think about.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Zivuth.
Oh boy.
Have a nice podcast, and see you
The
next
real
year.
MVP.
See you next
a
year,
good
man.
sleep.
Gute Nacht.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I got a few fun little things to talk about real quick. First off, let's all have a wondrous laugh and applause of sarcasm for how horrible NFTs ended up going because something amazing happened at a local NFT convention.
Oh no!
Wait,
hold on.
I
They're-
have to
they're-
listen to this.
Wait,
They're still
wait.
trying to peddle that nonsense.
It's worse than you think.
No,
I
because
thought it
Wait.
died off.
came up.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. There's an
I think
NFT
this-
convention?
Yeah, look up
I
think
Ape
this-
Fest.
I think
quit.
this
Bye.
sound should sum it up.
Okay, so here's what happened. There was an event called Ape Fest, which is an NFT convention. and a bunch of the participants who went down there experienced ultraviolet stage light damage. I'm talking the kind that gives you welder's eye, blindness, and ultraviolet skin damage, mimicking that of sunburns. Because some genius down there thought it'd be a good idea to have ultraviolet lights to show off some of their NFTs.
Oh my god.
Well, then again, I guess it's fitting. The only people who rely on NFTs or actually want to try and peddle them are stupid.
Yeah. No.
No, it's an investment. Come on now.
Holy shoot.
Oh,
Well-
yes, this JPEG is an investment. It's worth millions. Oh, what do you mean the stock market crashed?
Well, that actually takes me into the number 2 topic that I had on my list.
You
We've
see,
all
inside
seen...
a chain.
Yeah,
There you go. I'm saying shit.
no, it's fine. I was just going to say, we've all seen Evangelion, right?
No,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay,
But
do you know
Star
the...
Wars.
Okay, do you know the purple-haired girl, Misato Katsuragi?
Like,
That-
You
yes.
mean the old lady that
know,
drinks a lot of beer?
The purple-haired girl, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, there was a cosplayer for that person at a convention called Anime NYC who was there exclusively to encourage people to join the Marines.
Whoa.
Hey, yo,
That's
what
actually-
the fuck?
Wait, hold on. She's on
Right.
Evangelion?
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. The actual
Yeah.
army?
The
army
actual
was trying to pull
Marines.
this? God,
I
Yes.
they've really been getting desperate to pull people into this little scam of theirs. That's
yeah, and there was
funny.
art drawn about it too. Thank you, Rom, for being so quick about that.
Yeah.
That's
I was actually gonna
wild.
look for it myself, but Ron beat me to it.
Dude, Rom's on
what?
top of shit tonight.
Clearly.
I just thought that was incredibly hilarious.
Wait,
But as
why
long as
did
we're-
you go to the convention, pull up the most incapable
What's funny?
people you could possibly have in Navy.
Well, yeah, you're
like-
only
you're
attracting weeaboos.
Well, yeah, that's the
right.
thing. The only people you're going to attract there are nerds and video game players, which is what they want, because those people can fly drones.
Oh.
As like, are they expecting
fly a
people to actually
drone.
be as strong as anime characters?
I mean, how many of them do you think scream like freaking Goku and DBZ?
Yeah.
You ever seen anybody step in one of those DBZ charge-up chambers, by the way? It's just a giant fan that's responding to the volume of your voice. Now, I have long hair, so I cannot get into one of those unless they're like 12 feet tall. But if I did that, I'm pretty sure I'd break it.
The Marines are really like, look at all these sweaty nerds. I bet they'll be gullible enough to sign our contract.
Probably. Okay, so on that subject, though, since we're talking anime, how many of you have seen Gurren Lagann?
No.
Yeah, I
Me.
have.
I think I've watched like the first
It's on my
episode. and that's it.
it's on my watch list. I'm going to watch it.
Okay,
I know
well,
what it
I've
is though.
heard
So.
about it.
well, I'm not going to spoil
I
anything,
love it.
but there were a couple of special movies that were made after the series. They're called Gurren Hen and Lagann Hen.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the
No, I
advertisement
haven't
for
even
those.
heard of those.
Well, they're basically retellings of certain parts of the series itself or re-dynamic visions, but the short end of it is
They're like
this.
Super Shot.
Essentially, something like that.
Okay.
One of them also includes
Yeah.
more footage that makes the series even more interesting, but I'm not going to get into that.
Alright.
Thank you again, Rom. The short end of it is this. It's going to be going back in theaters, it's getting an English dub, and it's going to be available in 4D.
What
Okay.
4D?
I
Oh,
have no
boy.
idea, but if it's going to be 4-dimensional Gurren Lagann videos, I want to see it. I want to say it's going to be in those theaters that actually like adds wind effects
Yeah.
and sound booms and
They
whatnot.
have like
I-
the
I
splashes
do
in your
too, but
face
that'll
if there's
be live
water.
action like the
If it's going to be stage performances, that's going to be amazing. But I did confirm, and all the English voice actors are coming back for this one too.
Oh,
Very nice.
Yeah, that's rare.
It's not a stage performance.
They
It's going to be a
They should
just like
fix
one of those
the-
4D movies.
Nice.
unintentional-
Sorry about that, Lone. What were you saying?
I was like, I hope they remove or at least fix the extended ending they decided to add for Gurren Lagann.
One can only hope.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the subject of anime, though, here's something else. We all know that Netflix has had a bad history of making anime adaptations up until recently.
except for One Piece.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Well, that's
They've released.
also live action.
Yeah. Here's what I was getting at. They released 2 trailers for new live-action series. One for Avatar: The Last Airbender, and one for Yu Yu
That looks pretty
Hakusho.
good.
Oh yeah, they both suck.
I haven't seen the Yu Yu Hakusho one, but I've seen the Atlas one, and that one looks not
I'm
too
I've
bad.
not seen
I've watched
the
both.
latter either.
These
Honestly,
trailers
well-
look good.
Yeah, and that's
I'm-
the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing That's the thing that like hypes you up. Like you're watching these trailers and it's like, oh, hopefully Netflix doesn't fuck up again. And you watch the
Well-
actual show, and it's a 50-50 gamble, really, at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
Guys, like,
Raven,
I
you have
just
to
remember
think
the live
it's
action
Netflix is
movie.
just facilitating it, right? It's not, but that like they don't have any, like they I guess as a basically a media distributor, they will have certain conditions. But
I don't
there's still a
know.
lot of creative space to work within.
I don't know all the details, but the characters look right. The voices are on point. The action looks infinitely better than the Avatar movies that we got in the past. Well, movie, rather.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah.
it's already doing better than the last attempt.
The casting choices are also really cool. How they've made Aang like more like your traditional Asian Japanese kind of looking.
Yeah, that's what I also liked about the trailer. They stuck with the roots here, whereas like M. Night Shyamalan just whitewashed all of the characters and called it a day.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah,
Saga is
well
clearly a
done.
white
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Yeah, right. What do you mean Aang isn't a little Asian boy from the Air Temple?
No, it's not Aang, it's Ong.
Oh
Is it
God.
Ong or
Ong.
Aang? I've
Ong.
heard it.
I
Like,
forgot about that. And
I've
Sokka.
heard it in the show. I've heard it as Aang.
In the movie, it's
No, in the movie they call him
Shyamalan movie, it's Ong.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
call him
that's
Ong,
right.
Sokka, and Cataract.
Oh yeah, because M. Night Shyamalan, for whatever fucking reason, saw Aang and was like, "Oh no, this is pronounced Ong. I'm not stupid. You are."
Now,
Also,
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Can I say something?
sure.
I actually remember seeing the live action Avatar movie. I just don't remember shit about it.
No one does.
Well,
You don't need to.
Good.
It's one of
It's
those
best if you
films
don't.
where it's one of those movies where you waste an hour or two of your life watching it, come out of it, and don't remember a single goddamn thing that you just sat down and wasted your time looking at.
Well, you can just blame M. Night Shyamalan for that one.
But trying
No,
to compound the
it's
entire
not
first season of
Shyamalan.
Avatar into a single
And-
movie.
M. Night Shyamalan?
And to think that this was directed by the same dude who helped direct The Shining.
Yeah, I think he's just stepped outside his wheelhouse a little bit. But,
He does have some alright films, I will
No,
say.
but here's the thing. M. Night
Lady in the
Shyamalan
Water
never
was really
saw
good.
the whole thing. Whoever's doing this Netflix series obviously watched the series.
I believe for this, it got the creators of the actual animated show, if I recall. So
Thank
that's already
God.
a step. So that's already a step in the right direction. But you
Thank-
also have to. But I've still have my fingers crossed regardless because of Netflix's 50-50 history of being good or bad. Like I was
Yeah,
half expecting the One Piece live action to be absolute dog shit, but apparently
So
that
did I.
came out good.
No, it was very
Yeah,
good.
it's the first good one.
And the second season's gonna go into Baroque Works in Alabasta, and that's gonna be wild.
okay, getting back on topic, next topic on my list, and this one's actually kind of cool. Cult of the Lamb is proposing a new update.
Oh, yeah.
no.
I'm sure we've all heard
Yeah,
about this on Twitter, but because the vote got more than enough upvotes, it means that there is a good possibility we're going to see a sex mod in Cult of the Lamb.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was.
Hold on,
It was
what the
originally
hot
gonna be.
coffee?
It was originally gonna be nudity solely, but then they were like, "Oh, all
Well-
these horny bastards on the internet want the animals to fuck," so we may
The
as
people
well
have
set it to a
spoken.
vote. And I'm just sitting here like, listen, this is a game where you do standard cult activity to appease the Dark Ones. When were they not going to venture into cult nudity or even like orgies or sex territory?
You're not wrong.
Oh yes, this appeases me.
Well, as long as we get a technical hentai mod, I'm not gonna complain.
Do we not have that?
Why not?
Yet.
Cthulhu's getting freaky today. God damn.
Okay, so I got one more topic here that I want to get through real quick, and this I doubt anyone here but me is gonna really feel anything from this, but Snoop Dogg has publicly announced that he is quitting smoking weed.
It was
Hey,
yo,
what the fuck?
except not really. Except
Yeah,
I
he
would-
recanted,
okay, thank
if
God.
I recall.
Whew.
So it has been recalled.
I was gonna say that ain't
It
right.
was-
Yeah,
an
that's what I
advertisement?
heard. He just said that as a joke, and I think he meant like, oh, you all thought I meant that I wasn't gonna be smoking weed anymore. No, I'm talking about a different product.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's fine with me. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and say I smoke weed. I don't do any of that stuff. But Snoop
Good.
Dogg being a weed aficionado was literally one of the cornerstones of my entire life.
This is true.
Like anybody who grew up with
he's
him
never
just
gonna-
knows that one and the other are synonymous. And to hear that one has stopped, you wonder what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like Martha
like,
Stewart.
we're
being-
talking about-
and
we're
her
talking about
being
the
a
same-
down low gangster.
We're talking about the same dude who wrote a whole ass song about smoking weed every day.
Exactly.
And then, like, as an outsider, you hear this news, even if it isn't true, and it's just like, oh no. So his song
Does
just
sound right.
aged like a fine milk.
Well,
Yeah, what did I say? Snoop Dogg and weed is like Eminem and domestic abuse.
oh, dude, funny, but fuck
True,
you.
but- Ooh.
Snoop Dogg and weed is like Amber Heard in the bed.
Didn't she shit the bed?
What?
Yes!
What'd she
Yeah,
do to
right.
the bed? What'd she do to the bed?
She left some Cocoa Puffs in the bed.
Shit on the bed!
Okay,
Like,
not
all-
touching the Heard death trial with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah,
I
let's
just
not.
find the meme-
Not without a
I just
hazmat
find the
suit.
meme-
I'm drinking a mega pint.
Yeah, I just find the memes really funny, to be honest. Like, they all come back to the bed. Like, that's the one thing they're all talking about.
Of course it
Not
is.
the bed.
Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the card games from here while the energy's high. First on the list, Digimon. What's new?
Okay, so before we get into the nitty gritty of the card game, I thought I would let Ignis give his own thoughts on the 02 movie.
Oh,
Okay. Before I do, let me just show off what I got real quick and the promotional pack that you get from watching the movie.
oh right, they do that still.
Yeah.
Oh, they did that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I sent it in the podcast chat if you want to like take a look.
Armadillomon, Patamon, and Wormmon.
My childhood.
Tell me about it.
Same.
I grew up with the very first Digimon series, and I remember Armadillomon being my favorite character because he was voiced by the guy who did Lord Zed from Power Rangers.
Wait, what?
What? Huh?
Yeah, the guy who did
Whoa.
Armadillomon did Lord
that's
Zed
accurate.
and Finster from Power Rangers.
Ah.
I actually have his autograph somewhere.
You mean to
That's-
tell me that the main big bad guy of Power Rangers voiced this cutesy little armadillo?
Apparently, yeah.
Then again, I shouldn't be surprised because deadass the dude who voiced Pete from Disney also voices Winnie the Pooh. Big duality there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like
And
the
the
voice
same
actor
woman who-
as Eevee also is also the main character of Genshin Impact.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Robert Axelrod,
um,
that's his name.
Voice roles are so weird, man.
Yeah, it's like you can have you can have people voice like YouTube videos and then go
like-
to major line.
Like even
corporation.
the dude who voices Zim, Invader Zim, he voiced freaking Moxie in Hell of a Boss, and people were
Yeah.
blown up about that. They were like, Zim just said fuck. He said
Yeah,
fuck.
the guy who voiced Invader Zim also voiced Alpha 5 from Power Rangers.
He also
Amazing.
I
he
quit.
also voiced
I quit.
Chaos from Skylanders. But yeah, voice roles like that where they're all over the place and it's super uncanny at times. It's an enigma. On one hand, you get really good stuff, and on the other hand, you wonder why the fuck did you do this for a paycheck? And I ask
I
that
just
a
wanna
lot.
say-
And I ask that a lot in regards to Sean Schemmel's roles. Dude goes from voicing Goku to role from Ed and Eddie, and then for an episode of GX, he voices Mad Dog and just gives him literal Uwu voice for the dub.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay,
I also
so
remember-
very strong.
Oh yeah, the big guy with the
Yeah,
little high voice.
the dude who's remembered for getting Chimera Tech OTK'd.
I'm
Oh,
gonna.
I would
Okay,
like to
back
bring
on-
up one more thing. Whenever stuff like this comes up, it always reminds me of the fact that Salem from Ruby is voiced by the same woman who once voiced Princess Peach.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
you told us about that.
You don't even want to know the history behind the voice actor for number 5 from Kids Next Door. She is in everything.
Yeah, her and
She'll
Tara
always
Strong
be
too.
Medusa from Kid Icarus Uprising to me.
And she'll also be Foxy Love from Drawn Together.
Yeah, that was
Absolutely.
another thing I was about to connect. She was number 5 in Kids Next Door and Foxy Love in the most offensive cartoon ever made, apparently.
Not even close, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, that's
shall we get
kinda
back on
mediocre.
supposed to have.
All right, well,
yeah,
let's.
we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
We're having too much fun with this. Go ahead and continue,
Yeah.
please, Ignister. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyways, now my opinion about the overall movie. I've heard that it's been mixed, mostly the negatives. But me personally, I actually enjoyed it, and I will admit, the final scene nearly made me cry.
Less. I mean, from what I've heard, it is actually a sequel to Last Evolution Kizuna.
Yeah, it seems
Hope
like
so,
it. Also, at points, majority of the time, the story just gets dark. Like,
I mean, not
Like, especially,
surprising given how Digimon can get to that point, especially in the older years. You know, not
Wasn't
as
there
in
yes, but
Always-
without getting into spoilers, there was like one scene in particular that just shook me to my core.
It was kind of like me when watching Children's War Game for the first time in Japanese. The scene of Tai and Taichi and Yamato aiding Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon, that shook me.
I bet it did.
Yeah, Digimon has always been weird, so I'm not surprised that there are some dark stuff. I mean, hell, wasn't there a series where one of the main characters' dad's literally becomes like a version of Leomon or something like that?
Yes, that is Data Squad, and he becomes his soul is pretty much in the body of Bancho Leomon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes from like regular human to fucking furry bait Digimon, and you're sitting there watching that like, well then.
Tiger furry father.
Actually, it's a lion.
Actually, it's a fuckbait.
It's a fuckbait. I mean, I guess you also have that there.
Though I will say, if you cared about like the protagonist getting like a new evolution for the Digimon, or the actual like protagonist getting focus, then I'm gonna have to disappoint you and say that like neither of those happened.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh, boy.
Can't
Be
expect
like that
everything to
sometimes.
happen.
Yeah. The focus of the movie was to the newcomer Louis.
Louis, yes.
Cool.
Yeah. And I won't say like what it is or like why he's doing what he's doing. Just take my word for it. Be prepared for the worst.
Ooh. Definitely. So anyway, with that said, shall we go ahead and talk about the card game? Because there was quite a bit to talk about.
Let's hear it.
Yes.
So yeah, first and foremost, Booster Set 14 Blast Ace is now out in stores. All your needs for the first four of the Digidestin, so Tai, Mimi, Tai, Mimi,
yeah.
TK, and Joe,
Joe.
as well as the Seekers stuff with Fenrir Lugamon, new meta, and Brigade Dramon D Brigade, also new meta.
And yeah, I am upset at the prices for both the new Commandramon and Brigade Dramon.
Well, I mean, they are SRs, what you expect. So,
literally,
yeah.
I expected nothing.
You first.
I already said what I said. I said I expected nothing.
Oh. So anyway, over in Japan, we have, of course, had a very strong and steady smorgasbord of reveals and leaks for Booster Set 16. We've got... there was... Yeah. I think just recently they had the reviews for the new Vmon, and I'm just about to get to that, Rom. I'm just about to get to that. Let me finish.
He's on top of shit today.
Anyway, yeah, they just had today reviews for the new Vmon and Wormmon, which makes me want to believe that they'll finally reveal the new Imperialdramon Fighter Mode momentarily. And yeah, of course, there's the set also has two new keywords, Partition and Collision. And Collision kind of interests me, because basically it forces the opponent to block an attack.
That's the wrong level.
I know what this is. This is like Battle Door effect, where you force them to guard.
Yeah, I do hope to see what new stuff this Collision keyword will give us. Of course, as mentioned, Partition is basically splitting up into two different Digimon from its evolution cards.
So reverse fusion.
So basically,
pretty
for example,
Diffusion.
Partition level 4 for green and red, not green and red, green and blue. So if deleted, splits back into level 4 green and level 4 blue from its Digivolution cards.
Keep in mind, you need to have both of them in the evolution cards. If you only have one of them, you cannot use Partition.
Indeed.
Makes sense.
We've already mentioned, I think, last podcast about the reveal, the leak of EX6 in Infernal Ascension, I think? Yeah, Infernal Ascension. Yeah, we did mention that last podcast.
Yeah, we did.
So that comes to the nitty-gritty of the next major leak and reveal. Booster Set 17, Secret Crisis, cue the Diabormon sweep.
Oh boy.
Tier 0.
Diabormon is getting a special win con, apparently.
Yep, and it's gonna be also from the movies, not so. Of course, with Diabormon getting his much-awaited support, thank you. It's also very likely that we'll get support for Eosmon, maybe some other villains from Digimon movies. But more importantly, it's also gonna feature some other support from the protagonist Digimon of movies. Most specifically, Omnimon Ace, Imperialdramon Paladin mode, probably a new Gallantmon Crimson mode, and a new Shine Greymon Burst mode. And I think also there's gonna be a new Ancient Greymon.
Seems like it. Also,
Yeah.
we're getting level 7 aces, baby!
Yeah, get ready for the overflow -5. And now you'll probably look forward to Ancient Greymon, Nanashi, because that's a main focus of the Frontiers movie.
Yes, actually, I was going to look into that in a little bit, but since Frontier is really the only Digimon series I genuinely adore beyond anything considered rational, I was going to look into that.
Yeah, Red
I'm
Heart,
Well,
as I said, is
well,
still
sorry
pretty-
to disappoint. Well, sorry to disappoint, but like the current Ancient Greymon we have, the one from BT4, it's not really the best.
Yeah, so I say wait until BT17 for the Ancient Greymon sweep.
Fair enough.
Pretty
I
much.
will wait.
Speaking of sweep, with the Diabormon support officially confirmed with its alternate win con, Diabormon Ace prices are gonna make me cry. When I ultimately got the playset of it, it was like £50, including postage and packaging. So without it, it was like £41. A day later, the price from the same seller doubled.
Of course it did.
Yeah. Like I said, the Diabormon sweep is real.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who like live in America and use like USD, the lowest price I'm seeing on the listings, it is $16.
Beautiful. And that's a piece as well.
Yeah, a piece.
What's the
So, like,
conversion rate between
like-
U.S. dollars and British currency?
Quite
Pretty
different.
sure pounds are worth more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Anyway,
Okay, so like $1 in USD, it's like 79 like pounds sterling, I think. I don't know.
probably 79
79.
pence.
Pence, yeah.
So, okay. So what costs 41? What costs? How much did you say it was again? 41 pounds?
for a playset, minus the packaging postage.
Okay, so then for us it costs closer to $50.
5207 to be
Yeah.
exact.
For one card,
And
or
for
a bunch of
Australian, that'd
cards?
be more like $60.
The playset. So a playset in Digimon is 4 cards.
Right.
4 cards for $50.
I mean,
4
we've had
cards,
worse
yeah.
in other things, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we've had way.
that's pretty steep.
Yeah, we've had stuff way worse than that.
Actually, no, it's
That's
more like
not even.
$75.
Keep in mind, Shine Greymon Ruin Mode. A staple in Shine Greymon, any purple and any yellow deck. That's like a $50 card for the regular
I
art.
mean,
It is a secret
Yeah.
rare after all.
You're better off buying
Yes.
booster packs than just getting lucky.
no.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
hold on. Quick story about that. Like I actually did pull Ruin Mode off of a booster box.
Pretty good.
Very nice.
Buy
I wish it was the
$50
alt art, but I am not complaining about getting Ruin Mode in general.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you.
Just
Anyway, I
wait.
Yeah, I will.
think
Yeah,
that's
I
about
will
enough.
say though
That-
I will say though that the alt art, it is very beautiful. I love it.
Agreed, agreed. I think that's gonna be it for Digimon.
All right. Well, if that's the case,
Yeah,
then
I
the next
got
thing on the next thing on the list is Pokemon. There's only one thing about Pokemon that I know that's coming soon that's worth mentioning, and it's the Pokemon Concierge Stop Action movie.
Don't know about that.
It's so strange. Basically, a woman's going to an island to be a Pokemon concierge and just help people in Pokemon as they try to relax. It's stop motion, which is something we don't see very often.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think I saw
that.
the trailer for that. It does look pretty good.
It's
Wasn't
surprisingly
there
good.
also, didn't they also reveal like a series about some girl going to a new school and it's just like
Horizons?
Yu-Gi-Oh but with the Pokemon TCG?
Oh,
Oh.
Yes.
that one. Oh,
Something
Yes,
like
yes, they
that.
did.
Pokemon Space Monster is oddish, I believe.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
For
It's like
some reason.
yeah, it's like 4 episodes, and they're not even that long.
Go
There is another
oddish.
There is another Pokemon thing coming out this month, and that is the final part of Scarlet and Violet DLC, the Indigo Disc.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh shoot! It's claymation. It looks terrifying.
It could be worse. It could be Uncanny Valley CGI. Mewtwo Strikes Back remake.
Oh god. Oh god.
Ooh, ooh.
Well, like I said, it don't look too bad. It looks alright.
It doesn't. I mean, they nailed Eevee. That's the big part.
Yeah, that's the big part. Get Eevee correct.
This
I mean,
looks
seriously,
like
you have any
this
idea how
looks
many
like-
people can't do that?
I'm looking at this right now, and not gonna lie, this looks like some shit I'd see in Robot Chicken.
That's exactly what it looks like. Pokemon Robot Chicken Edition.
The
do
special.
That's because all of Robot Chicken stop
Best
motion.
part is,
Dude.
and it doesn't even have the Robot Chicken quality.
I
Just
mean,
like-
there were some episodes where it did like look like this for certain like skits they did. Like even the Psyduck, it's just like I'd see that shit if Robot Chicken was making fun of Pokemon once again.
I mean, to be honest, they actually made Psyduck an interesting looking character.
Which is nice.
Okay, that is an achievement. Oh, and well, Rom's getting all these links because everyone knew what I was talking about. That whole like Pokemon TCG thing. On what was it called again? And where did they say you could watch it?
It says it's called Yoasobi Berry Berry. That's about all I know.
No, it was in a full-on series, but I know the name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember.
Because they had the Pokemon Direct, and it was one of the things they showcased, like either in the middle or near the very end.
Pokemon.
That was also like ages ago, so I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, Path to the Peak. Path to the Peak.
Path to the Peak?
Yeah, that was the TCG anime.
Oh, okay.
Well, ish thing, yeah.
Yeah, I joked about how it looks like something Pixar would make.
I remember. I remember you mentioning that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it looks pretty good. They both do.
I mean, it looks good. It looks good, Path to the Peak, from what I'm looking at, like art design wise. But like I said, this is Pixar, like character model wise, like what they would make.
As tell you the truth, whenever I see this, I'm always reminded of the murderous persona we give pneumonia.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Remember,
me.
Raven?
Of course
Yeah,
I
as someone
remember.
who actually saw,
You helped create it.
as someone who actually saw Path to the Peak, I actually surprisingly enjoyed it. Like it's short, but it's enjoyable.
Good.
It looks homey and cozy as far as animations like this go, and I haven't even watched it yet, so...
The cut go.
It looks like it reminds me of Camp.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
If you've ever seen any of Rooster Teeth's animations, it looks like Camp.
Yeah, that's... I was about to say, are you talking about that Rooster Teeth animated series?
Yeah, sounded like it.
Hey, when's the last season of Red vs. Blue coming out?
Sometime this year. At least that's what they said.
I know it's sometime this year. Yeah.
Yeah, they're running out of time. They really use that excuse.
I was gonna say, I'm like, oh.
I believe they got rid of Camp and Red vs. Blue from YouTube as well for some site that Nashi told us about.
Rooster Teeth
Some
first, yeah.
service, rather.
Yeah, because they hate
Yeah,
your
that makes
gut.
sense.
Yeah, they hate you.
I
created
remember...
Rooster Teeth created a funny little D&D puppet show thing.
The
I remember.
I was just gonna say the final season of Red vs. Blue has been confirmed that it's actually gonna come out in next year.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
What wasn't Red?
I'm looking forward to that.
If I recall, I remember like ages ago. I can't recall when, but I'm pretty sure Red vs. Blue was on Netflix at some point.
Yeah,
I like how they,
yeah, it was.
But they had like several of the episodes conjoined to like 1 hour mixes for like
Yeah.
each episode.
Yeah, that was actually what inspired
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth to do the same for YouTube.
I like how they've retconned, with the final season, they're retconning everything post season 14.
I know, I
Oh,
mentioned that too. I'm actually kind of happy about that because season
So am I!
season 14 was just an anthology. 15 and 16 were rough. 17 was at least watchable, but 18, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, I literally, whenever I rewatch it, I stop at season 14, and then I don't watch anything after. I'm just like,
What
yeah,
is
nah.
season 4? I haven't watched all of them in a long time. So I
I'm like,
forgot
one
which
time was enough for me.
where does season 14 end off with?
So season 14 is
Well,
just an
technically,
anthology
narratively-
season. It's just
Yeah,
an
it's just an
anthology
anthology.
series of like what ifs, alternate storylines, random one-offs
They're
with
pretty
characters we
interesting.
never see in the series.
But- Yeah, but the actual narrative ends in season 13. When they're coming, like they're at fuck. Church is basically going super speed just to say goodbye, everybody.
Wait, hang on.
And they're about to get assaulted.
Well, let's not say anything more about that because there might actually be people out there who haven't seen it but want to.
Yeah.
And like I said in the last cast, I have a link to a Gilded server that has every episode of Red vs. Blue, including the specials, the mini-series, and everything in chronological series order so you can watch it yourself. Without having to pay out of pocket. So, getting back on track though, the next topic on the list is Cardfight Vanguard.
Oh, I have some shit to tell you.
I bet you do.
I have a half a mind to praise Bushiroad, but also smack them at the same time.
Pretty sure everybody does. So what's up?
Like, okay, promo. Knight of Blue Skies Helmved, who's ironically not human, he's a dragon. If you play the order this turn, your front row gets +5 and your back row gets boost.
Okay, so it turns your entire board into a mass. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically meant to just pump up the power for multi-attack. If he swings, Cannon Blast 1, check top 5. You pick something grade 3 or below, show it. Call it if it's a rear guard. If it's an order, stand something. So this is 2 ways of getting 4 attacks. And with the Grand Grace structure, we just take out Grand Grace for him and you're done. The only real thing you have to worry about in this deck is watching your ass with the Kana Blast. Other than that, you're gold. But one thing that I'm worried about, I'm seeing Shiranui more in tournaments now.
Did they do well recently? In some major event?
For a deck that can literally dominate your unit, I am not really surprised. For those who don't know, dominate pretty much allows you to like attack with your opponent's units.
Yeah, we actually talked about that in the last cast, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
I'm trying to remember. I think we did.
Then. Well, I didn't. So
here's like the real big beef. Because one thing because they nerfed Luard so much that you barely see it.
Did
And
they
that's
limit
funny
him, or
considering that like
No,
I mean it's funny considering that like Luar literally broke V, which is funny to me.
yeah, so they were terrified, but they forgot everybody else.
oh, okay.
Like, although they nerfed Shiranui, they gave him multi.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Because the crest says whatever you dominate doesn't have the effects, which
I mean,
makes
that's
them
more so. Wait, that's more so like a buff to me than a debuff.
which makes for some weird ruling interactions. Like if a Greedon player is sitting at 6 from their own effect, you dominate the Greedon and say, Greedon, kill yourself.
Ah,
Yeah.
that makes some for some entertaining anime moments.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um
And also, what's funny?
just-
What's funny? None of the encounter cards actually appeared in the anime.
Also, another great thing, the special set I am getting now because they were showing a new ride line.
Cool.
Zedolance. It's a turn 4 deck. I'll give you that. But here's the great part about him. He's the first restanding Vanguard that's not an encounter in Dragon Empire.
Interesting.
The grade 1 searches the blacksmith forge. This is going to be very important. The grade 2
Incorrect. The grade 1 looks at the top 5 to search for a grade to search for a set order. A grade 2 straight up searches one.
Oh, the grade 2's. Okay, so the grade 1 digs for the order. The grade 2 searches it. The grade 3 either searches or recovers it. And this is gonna be the important part. If he swings, he gets a drive. All right. If you chose your units for the blacksmith card, the order, 3 or more times after he attacks, he gets 10k but loses all his drives.
Interesting.
So you said the big rear guard on your Vanguard circle.
Like whenever you would see a restanding effect, you would see like they would lose 1 drive. He's getting them all in one go.
Well, there are also some cards that like make you lose 2 drive. Though this is not Dragon. Though most of the time it's not in Dragon Empire. So
yeah.
For those who don't know, drive is a mechanic where when you declare an attack, you reveal the top card of your deck to check if you do extra damage.
Yeah.
Or just do other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the more drive you have, the more chances you have to add extra damage, make your stuff stronger, recover stuff. It just really depends on what it is that you reveal.
They're kind of learning their lessons from Minerva and Overlord, because this deck can't multi-attack, but they have something that literally just says, "Hey, I'm unaffected by card effects."
Wow.
Yeah, when I'm unaffected.
The new Regulus piece.
Yes. Also, there's a Regulus piece that literally just invalidates Vermilion and angers me. This is what happens. As soon as you play it, your Vanguard gets +5. All your rear guards get unaffected by card effect.
Ooh.
So you can't dominate. You can't lock. You can't retire. You can't do shit.
But it's a Regalis piece, so you can only run 1. It's gonna be one of those.
Pretty much.
It's gonna be something like Call of the Haunted. It's gonna be like Called by, where the jank one of ends up winning you the game.
Nothing.
We're just kind of going through Vanguard stuff now.
Cause that like if they hit you with that one of, it's not going to be
Yeah, for reference, one other regular piece we have, I think it was the first one. It allows you to activate Persona Ride, which lets you draw a card and gives 10k to the whole front row.
Yeah, it's meant to be empowering for basically having an identical copy of a card.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Although I'm happy to say Zedolance isn't as Persona Ride reliant. He can do it. He's not reliant on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do like my me standing stuff.
There's also that mask set. I don't know the name, but like it's not worth it. Huh?
The one with Leonor and
basically like
Nordlinger masks.
I don't know about Nordlinger, but I do know that it was Leonor and Orphist, and I think also Drajul.
Oh yeah, malevolent masks. The only real good thing in that is Orphist.
No, it's not like a booster set. It's like a side set of sorts. Basically, like all what's in it are like going first, like going second cards. Like pretty much a player, like the opponent chooses them. Like then they like whichever card they get, pretty much indicates like they're like whether they're going first or second. Also there's like a playmat, and I think like maybe either two copies or a playset of Mask of Hydrogum. Either way, it's not worth it.
Yeah, like I think Mask of Hydrogum went down in price, so it shouldn't be that hard to get.
Last I checked, it was like what? Last I checked, it was like what? $11 per copy, and like most decks usually like run 2.
Yeah, the only deck that you're actually needing to play it is Zorga and.
Oh, there's also Omena Grigio? I think is how you say it.
Oh yeah, Omeno Gruzo.
That
You actually do need it for him because Omeni Gruzo is masks kind of define what the deck does.
Yeah, it is so mask reliant.
Like this, like Omeno Gruzo need. Like some decks are okay going to turn 4. Omeno Gruzio needs it. Like this deck, it practically goes meh if it before turn 4. Well, the one thing with the start decks that people are getting real annoyed about is that only the grade 3 and the effect triggers, which are still $15, are in here. Are the only of things with an effect in there. Also the perfect. There's only 3 things with effects in here. The grade 3, the PG, or they give you Elementaria Sanctitude. And
you also get like one. Yeah, you get like one of the 3 effect triggers. Yeah, it's one out of the 3.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the 3 trigger units.
First, the next topic on the list is going to be Weiss Schwarz. There's been quite a few things happening, so I'm going to get through them as quick as I can. There have been multiple tournaments in the Bushiroad Championship Series that have happened over the last month. There was one over in Houston, Texas. The first place when I was playing HoloLive, which was the Kanata Marine version, red-green. Second place was playing Sword Art Online Alice, Kirito. Third was playing Sword Art Online Alice, Silica. And fourth place was playing Konosuba, which we don't see hardly at all competitively. So I'm happy about that.
Nice. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think they were playing the Aqua Darkness mix, is what it is. So that's kind of fun.
Not
Same
bad.
weekend in Germany, we saw a tournament. First place was playing Hololive as Kigura, which was a red-yellow-blue mix. Second place was playing Slime Shizumirin. Third place was playing Slime Shizumirin. And fourth place was playing the red-green Overlord deck.
Okay.
I love Overlord as a set, but I've never had a chance to sit down and build it because I'm building a lot of other stuff, including right now. Now, the weekend after, November 11th and 12th, in Mexico, we had a tournament, and the first place player was playing a quintessential quintuplets mix that was all red, but a weird blend. It's a little difficult to describe without explaining the game mechanics in full, but the short version of it is it runs unusual combos that get you a lot of resource back at the most random times of the game.
Hmm.
And that's okay, Raven. If you gotta go, you gotta go. We'll see you next year.
There you
There
go.
was an original.
He's already gone.
And 2 weeks
Too
later,
soon,
which was
you know.
last weekend, there were 3 major tournaments. One in Melbourne, Australia. First place player was playing Slime Shizumirin. I'm sure you can see the pattern. Second place was playing Seven Deadly Sins Escanor, which makes me happy because I'm building that deck too. Third place was playing Overlord Red-Green, which, you know, hooray. And fourth place was playing Hololive as Kigura, again. There was also one in Singapore. First place was playing Quintessential Quintuplets, a more standardized build. Second place was playing the Adventure Time deck, which is a red-blue mix, but it's a completely different one from the one I play.
Very nice.
Third place was playing Slime Millimurin, and fourth place was playing Hololive Kanata Marine. And in France in that same weekend, there was a tournament. First place was using Hololive ASCII Polka. Second place was using the Avatar The Last Airbender deck, which was a Toph Azula mix. I want to be happy about that, but I despise Azula as a character, so I can't appreciate it.
Feelings
Wait,
of
why?
I
Azula,
can't.
there's a list of words that I want to call Azula, but if I said even the first 2 of them, my channel would be ripped off Twitch in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Under-
yeah,
Understandable.
Now, third place is...
I understand completely because I have several words for the dude, for the hero from Shadowverse.
Mhm.
So,
Well, third place was playing the Azur Lane series, which is a brand new series that dropped about a month or 2 ago, and they're playing a green-blue mix, so that series clearly already has competitive viability. Good for it. And fourth place was playing Hololive as Kigura. Now, this leads me into the next part of this, because they just released a new ban list earlier this month that should shake up the entire competitive scene. They hit Sword Art Online, and hit one of the brand new cards that came out of it, one of the Alice cards that makes the whole combo extremely viable.
Oh,
They all-
wow.
Yeah,
When
Ru-
a company hitting a card that's new just because it's a bit too strong. I wonder if
Exactly.
there's a company who will not do that.
tell me about it. Wonder who. But yeah, they limited one specific Alice card to 2 copies instead of the usual 4. They also slapped on a choice restriction to That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, a Shizu card and a Murin card specifically, the ones that make up the core of the Shizu-Murin combo. Which is good, because that means that now we'll start seeing people play other stuff, like that one person from Singapore who played the Millimurin mix, maybe. And they changed the 7 Deadly Sins limit. To put it simply, there's 2 cards on Escanor, one that you have to discard for cost to use an effect, and one that actually has the effect. And they traded one for the other. It essentially does the same thing, but it was more of an aesthetic change to make everything look a little cleaner. And they removed any limits that were on Mushoku Tensei, so now that deck's back at full power.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. But what isn't fun, though, is one of the changes that they will be making starting next year to the game. They are going to be changing up the way that their packs are set up.
Oh dear.
They are now changing it so that every single pack of cards goes from 9 cards to 8 cards, but the price will be the same.
Oh dear.
Theoretically-
Shrinkflation moment.
Theoretically, they're just going to be removing a common from a common from every pack, which means we're just going to have less common bulk, which I'm not opposed to. And yes, thank you, Rom. It's essentially to make it match the way that Shadowverse Evolve works. They're also going to be reducing the number of packs per box from 16 to 12, but they will be reducing the price on every box as well. They're also going to be increasing the number of boxes per carton from 18 to 24. Now, a bunch of people did the math. There will be approximately 280 cards less per carton. But since it's probably all going to be common and uncommon bulk that most of us would have sitting in our binders anyways, I don't think anyone's really going to complain about this.
But wouldn't be less common make the uncommon cards common?
No, they're not taking away a rarity or anything. They're just removing one common from every pack. So now it's like 5 commons, an uncommon, a rare, and some other rarity per pack now. I think is how they're going to do it.
How do they organize it like that?
I don't have the ratio list in front of me, but they have a system that they've been using for years to place that. I'll get that for you later. But if I understand correctly, the rarity ratios should stay the same. Any card that's supposed to be like 1 copy per 3 boxes should still be 1 for every 3 boxes. So if you buy a carton of them, the ratio you buy from should still be about the same. And the only other news...
So it's not the end of the world then?
Not really, no. And the only other news that I have on my list is that Ari Ferretta from Commonplace to World's Strongest is now out and available for purchase. I've never seen the show, so it's not really anything I'm interested in. But now we can finally get into the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
Yeah. Have you guys
Wait, did we just
heard
straight up
that-
skip Magic?
Well, there wasn't any Magic news as far as I was aware, unless you know of some.
No, I don't.
That's what I thought.
Going to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and start out with Master Duel, because there's quite a few things to go over with this. Master Duel recently made an update to 1.7.1, and they have added a bunch of new little aesthetic features. First off, they've included traditional Chinese as a language option. The card list can now be displayed horizontally or vertically. Graveyards and banished cards are now displayed during dialogue, which was a major headache. Link monsters on the field now have larger arrows so you can see where you can land. If there are multiple cards being moved to the graveyard or banished, they can all be seen much easier now. They've updated duel logs. They've updated missions from having faster select all options. They've improved the rune indicators for starting a game with other people. There are more secret packs being displayed, and you can open 10 bonus packs at the same time now. They fixed anti-aliasing and card image quality options. Your season points are now displayed on your profile, and they've updated the proficiency test, and completing it now gives you a bicycle mate.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? They've also given...
Wait, like an actual bicycle? Not like Cycloid or something?
Nope, it's just a bike.
Oh,
I
also,
find that hilariously underwhelming.
Tell me about it. So, let's see. In addition to that, Ritual Festival has came and gone. Nothing amazing came from that, other than the fact that you had Blue Eyes, Libromancer, and Nuve as loner decks.
Imagine having a Ritual Festival, and yet none of the best decks in the format are Ritual decks.
Are you surprised?
Hilarious.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Little bit.
Tell me about it.
So, they've also introduced something new is aesthetically pleasing. They've given us alt art versions of the Egyptian gods, and each version of the Egyptian gods has its own unique summoning animation.
Yeah.
About time.
Also, you get to punch people in the face as Obelisk now.
Yeah, and they all get their own
Very
finishing
awesome.
move animations too.
Oh,
Which
the
is
finishing
also
move.
awesome. I have seen them and they are perfect.
Yes, they are. We also have a new solo mode, Mechanical Beings in Sync, which is Gen X.
Is the Link 1 in Master Duel?
Not yet.
I have
That
nothing
is
to say about
garbage.
It's garbage. Until they add the link, it's garbage.
Well, it might be fun to mess around with, because I believe one of the things you get out of that is a Gen X controller mate.
Adorable.
And if he just sits there and smells this random flower, that's actually kind of cute.
Ah, indeed it is.
They've also included a bunch of new extra packs. Singularity Warrior, which has Vanquish Soul, Nouvelle, and Firewall Dragon Singularity. Sisters of the Light, which has Exosister and Artifact. The Ones Who Serve Ra, which has Ring Dragon of Ra and its supports, and Ishizu's Earth Fairies, or what's left of them.
Yeah, I'd love them indeed.
I just said, what is left of them?
That is a good question. Someone look into that and see what's left of the Earth Fairies. I know most of the monsters are either limited or banned.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
I feel sorry for all 4 Vernisylph players.
Oh, I'm gonna get to that in a second, Rom. Don't worry about that. Fighting Spirit of Sparking Iron, which has Springens and Therion support. And the new Duel Pass is in effect, which has a Hungry Burger icon, access code talker monster art, and a Hungry Burger made as prizes.
The Hungry
Amazing.
Burger. The best archetype.
Borger.
Orga.
Okay, for those curious, Keldo and what's this one? Mudora are at 1. And I think the other 2 are banned.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
It just seems to be grouping up their spell traps, I guess.
Indeed.
And now we get to the most important detail. They have released 2 ban lists that are both releasing on December 5th. And I'm just going to group them all up together into one unit, because this is important. They have
Ooh, yeah, very good at that thing.
they haven't banned anything, but they have limited Mathmech Diameter, Runic Fountain, Performapal Monkey Board, Redox Dragon Ruler of Boulders, Tidal Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls, and Zodiac Rat Pier. They have semi-limited.
Yeah, exactly.
They have semi-limited Labyrinth Stovey Torby, Pearly, Tempest Dragon Ruler of Storms, Chaos Space, Cynet Mining, Pot of Desires, Partly Delicious Memory, and Quick Launch.
Exactly, this entire thing is useless.
And a unlimited Lyralus Cobalt Sparrow and Zodiac Trident
No.
and Zodiac
that's
Barrage.
I have a mixed. I don't know whether I should be scared for Master Duel people or just. Meh.
Well, in addition to that, they gave us 2 selection packs specifically because of this ban list, I think. Beginning of the Next Journey, which has Albion, Vanadium, and Gate Guardian cards, and Mighty Contenders, which has Ghost Reaper, Redox, the Mathmech stuff, Zodiac stuff, and the Tri-Brigade Link 5.
Oh, so that's why Zodiac's got the few unlimits, and there's been a few and titles unbanned. Konami wants to sell you shit.
Yeah, Tri-Brigade Zoo is going to be a thing.
I'll have fun with that, Jimbo.
Now, getting into the actual game, though, there's not a lot of news. We officially have Deck Build Pack Valiant Smashers available for purchase, if anybody bothered to buy that.
Nobody really bought. Wait.
Nah.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess-
Center Ion is fine, and I like Memento, but rather buy singles.
I faced the Centurion. I'm kind of worried they're gonna get King Calamity banned.
They will. They will.
Yeah.
If Vanadium isn't gonna get King Calamity's banned, then Central Iron will.
If enough decks play it.
Have you guys heard of the new Yugi Moto cards they're finally adding?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? You're a little low.
Oh yeah, the gold sarcophagus stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the
the
Gold
new-
Sarka Light stuff.
Yeah, it's they finally added cards based on Yugi Moto's deck, not Yu-Gi-Oh's deck.
Yeah, that honestly that was really cool. I faced them a couple of times online. They don't seem like they do much, but being able to play 2 negators in their first turn is a great way to start going off. And then having the Gandora board breaker and all that stuff, it's good stuff.
Yeah, and
10 versus Yugi.
Sure.
the only problem it has is that it all relies on the continuous trap card.
Yeah, that is
I-
a bit of an issue, but
That doesn't bode well.
I consider that good design because nothing
don't.
should be truly unbeatable.
Yeah, as like I like how these cards are, is because they're strong
Because
as they should be.
The
I like
Destiny
them.
board deck is an auto win condition, but it relies so heavily on the field spell.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
like
true.
This picture.
And
Yeah.
that relies on coin flips.
oh, my favorite.
Meh, hey, Arcana Force.
Yeah, as like this should have been.
Yeah. I think the
Yeah.
day the Arcana Force gets support, we could probably expect. Hell, I will sing Hellfire
never
the
happen.
day Arcana Force gets support.
It'll never
That'd be
happen.
awesome.
Like,
It was
The
never a
world.
focused archetype. It was just. I mean, yeah, it's not going to happen.
yeah,
As like
quote me.
Arcana Force, really fairy and coin flip support really helps it out.
Well, you know, on the subject of the Gold Sark of Light stuff, that actually brings me up to the list of information about Premium Pack 24, which is where it comes from. In addition to that, they announced Sky Striker support, which I know we're probably all not fans of Sky Striker, but it is kind of cool that they diversified their support for once. They gave them
Yeah,
a new
they
At
main.
least the support is kind of mediocre as opposed to
The thing is, Sky
terrible.
Strike has always had like another avenue of which to play it. Just it's it's never been good.
Yeah. Well, now it might be, because now they got a new main deck monster, a new Link 2, a new Link 3, and a new Link 4 from the V-Jump promo.
Yeah, the Link 3 isn't bad. The Link
I don't
2 the Link 2 needs engage or it's useless.
Right.
The
I
main
mean, that's
deck
like the
monster
entire archetype in general, anyway.
the main deck monster need is actually really good because it just dumps Rose on the field. I'm just mad I messed up my gold rare Rose.
It happens, man.
Like the paint just chipped, the gold paint chipped off as soon as I try to put it back in the binder.
Yeah, gold rare stuff.
Sucks.
Yeah. It's one reason I don't like buying gold rare stuff. Unless it's for the extra deck where I know it's not really going to matter where it ends up. I don't like putting gold rare stuff into my binders, especially not the latest gold rare embossed stuff. It feels like it's cheating because of how heavy it is.
Fair enough.
But getting back on Premium Pack 24, they also announced new support for the Toy archetype, Toy Soldier, Toy Tank, and Toy Box, which, after looking at it, it doesn't do a lot, but I'm thinking about trying it out in the Gradius ship deck. It's all about summoning light stuff.
Level 4 light.
That's some nice jank stuff.
Yeah, it's just jank cards for a jank deck, and it sounds like fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Though I will say though, the toys we actually do have like two different types of toy soldiers. The one in the manga and the one in the Yu-Gi-Oh GX.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention it doesn't work with Toy Magician because it has to be destroyed by the opponent's card effect.
Oh,
Hooray!
Isn't that in GX? Didn't like the toy soldier? All it did was inflict.
No.
Which is
What it did
More
What it
reliable
did
if it
during-
did.
during your standby phase, if this card is face up on the field, you get to summon 2 copies of it from your deck.
Yeah, that
It's
was
still
all it
better
did.
than relying on your opponent to kill it.
Yeah.
Mm,
Let's see. White Oregon announced some more support. They got a spell card and a trap card. The spell's pretty good. It just takes a duplicate of a monster you control and summons a copy of it from your graveyard, I believe it is.
Yeah. Also, the trap is pretty mid.
You know.
Let's see.
But the new Jack card, Flame Crime,
Oh yeah.
I like it. The problem is, where are we finding room for it? Where are we finding room? The main deck for Jack is tight.
Fair enough. I was actually wondering about that. Like, it's a good card for the most part. It puts a trap in the grave, which means you can get it back somehow, but...
Yeah. The main thing is you
Decent
can
muscle blader.
search red. You search red. Red Rains.
Ah. Let's see. There's also the matter of the new continuous spell, Ebon's Sun, which is supposed to work with the Supremacy Sun, but I don't see it.
That's not
Yeah, it
happening.
doesn't look too right.
That's not happening. It's gonna be played in
Galactic.
Yes.
I mean, just look at this card. It doesn't look like it would be good for much of anything.
Yeah, like.
Exactly.
Have you ever just looked at a card and was like, "Where the fuck
Oh,
do you
that wouldn't
go?"
work.
Like, have you just looked at a card and just scratched your head?
Multiple times.
Like,
It
where
puts a
the-
delayed trigger on the stack.
Oh no,
You
no.
can discard a card, special summon this
Oh, yeah,
card
I
from
love
your
how it's an SR in Master Duel for some reason.
Because even they have to acknowledge that it's not very good.
Indeed.
Well, I think its design space is very simple. Like its entire effect is just to keep itself as a beater on the field.
Basically,
That's all it is. It's basically a vanilla monster that recurs itself.
Yeah, and the continuous
much.
spell is supposed to combo with it. Like when it's summoned, you gain 3,000 life points, and it gets 1,000 more attack points.
Yeah, so the whole point is so that the entire point is just you have a 3k beater, and if it dies, it comes back.
It offsets the
I got
cost,
an
gives
easy
you a reason to
solution.
resummon it. Yeah, I see the synergy. It's just not very good synergy.
I got a
No,
solution.
yeah, like,
Make them both a
it's a
one
lot of-
card.
It's a lot of words for something that's not not a lot's actually happening.
Nah.
This is
Oh,
the
a lot of
very
words
definition
for
of a
just to
do
do
nothing
nothing.
card.
we almost forgot something actually. Terminal World has announced new Ritual Beast support.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's
What?
actually kind of okay.
The Link
Yeah, like-
4 is the best card among them.
Wait, that's
Yeah,
only
like-
4?
But
Uh-huh.
just playing
I mean,
ritual beats
going
like
back
that.
a little bit to the continuous spell, that might be a good generic spell
Been a while since I've
to use.
looked at Rit Beasts. It's my favorite
Luke's
non-ritual
brother.
archetype, by the way.
Funny, a ritual archetype that doesn't play rituals.
It just has Ritual Beast, in
Yeah.
its name, yeah.
Yeah, that. Now
His ulti kind
that
of Hawk
is
bad.
irony.
Now, the only other
Yeah.
thing on my list, though, is they have introduced a new product that's coming out in March 9th. Speed Duel GX Midterm Destruction. Now, I've said before that I'm not really interested in playing Speed Duel, but the reprints that we can get from these boxes are kind of cool.
Hold on
What
a
are
moment. Is
Isn't
this
like
the one
that-
with the Arcana Force? And
That's the one.
oh boy, I cannot wait for the Speed Duel meta to be that Sartorius deck again.
The box is going to come with pre-built decks for Jaden, specifically the Neos version, Sartorius, Hasselberry, and Jim Crocodile.
Oh, no. Okay.
Now, we don't have all the reprints confirmed yet, but we have been confirmed that we're getting reprints of Moki Moki King, Neos himself, Ultimate Tyranno, and Fossil Skullgios.
Here's the thing:
Ultimate Tyranno is pretty good
is
reprint.
dead ass playing Moki Moki in 2023, 2024.
Dude, Moki Moki just got
Uh-huh.
support.
Wait,
Wait,
it did?
dead ass?
Yeah, it's immediately
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You didn't know about
What's
this?
No,
I was too busy with the silent card, the Yugimoto cards.
I was too busy playing Red Dragon Archfiend.
Fair enough. Let me
Oh,
see if I can
so-
get that for you.
Oh,
the
yeah.
regular Moki. Isn't it the Moki card that summons more Mokis?
More than likely, yeah.
Which makes the fusion actually have more than 3,000 attack.
That's the one. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Dead ass. This is
card
the
become
thing.
And it searches any Moki Moki card, which means that the continuous spell is now searchable.
No, you know what?
The
You know what's
continuous
the
spell is not searchable.
you know what's gonna be the infuriating thing? Watch
What?
how Moki Moki become a dead ass deck. Like they're just going to make one day they're just going to make a bunch of random Moki Moki stuff, and we're just going to look at this and be like, this is a deck.
Yep.
Wait,
We're gonna start having
uh,
freaking Belaski role players at tournaments, you know?
Yeah.
And everyone's just gonna start feeling the moke.
It's like,
And watch how they're
the
all
most
baked
one for them.
like it was the Snoop Dogg music video.
Exactly.
Instant
wait,
fusion.
isn't there a card
There's quite a bit you could do.
that I think it's Law of the Normal, or where if you have like low level normal monsters on your field, like 5 of them, you could like board clear your opponent's field and hand. Yeah, Law of the Normal. Oh, it's level 2.
Yeah, though it's not just your opponent, it's you too, and all you get are the normal monsters.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but Moki's level 3, so it doesn't.
No, Moki Moki is level 1.
Oh, it
Level
says-
1.
Yeah, it's level 1.
Oh, okay.
So that would actually
Okay,
work.
then.
Oh yeah, and Moki Moki's getting a plush. I'm not gonna lie, I want that so bad.
Yeah,
Amazing.
'cause it's a giant pillow.
So when you pull out your Moki Moki deck, you put the plush next to it.
Yes.
I
That's
mean,
like
Like
feels
as
so
a
much
little
more
dual
plush.
mate, as an actual real life dual mate.
Why not?
the funny part is that the Moki Moki monster looks like a pillow, so you actually could use this non-ironically as a pillow.
That's the point. You use your Moki Moki pillows on top of your Moki Moki King mattress. Oh god, it looks exactly like I thought it would. 50
Amazing.
centimeters by 45 centimeters by
Approach the
10
maidens at
centimeters.
Local, would you be my Moki Moki queen?
What?
If they
Oh,
actually
please,
make
we
a
need,
Moki
we
Moki
need that.
bed,
We need that.
We need that
in
so
our
bad.
lives. Moki Moki Queen.
And the last bit of information, real quick, they have confirmed that in this box we're going to be getting ultra rare reprints of Neospace and Aqua Dolphin, Dandelion, and Card Trooper.
we can't
Why
use Dandelion.
Dandelion? The card's never getting unbanned unless it's an errata.
Doesn't matter, it's an ultra rare Dandelion.
To be fair, Dandelion isn't as powerful in Speed Duel as it is in the TCG because, you know, links aren't a thing there yet.
True, true.
Yeah.
Links are a thing in Duel
Duel
Links.
links, yes.
You ever go back
Well,
and watch
Dandelion-
videos from people like X Stevens' channel, and you'll see just how unbelievably underwhelming Dandelion was back in the day. All you did was use it for defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
what I used it for.
Yeah. The reason Dandelion got banned was was it the Trishula deck? The Trishula loops?
No, I think it was the Drill Warrior loop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be it.
You just discard
When did-
Dandelion to banish Drill Warrior for the turn, you get 2 tokens, you come back, Drill Warrior adds Dandelion
Yeah.
back to your hand.
Ah.
Yeah, you're right, you're right. I
Or
was gonna
you're
say, 'cause I don't
thinking of
remember the
average
Trishula
ban
being
because
that
of,
bad.
Plant Synchro. But that's a ban
Wait.
list we prefer not to talk about.
Let's not.
Yeah, let's not.
If they retrain
I don't even think a hard
Dandelion
one per
to
turn
only
could fix
work when
that.
it's destroyed at battle, card effect could probably be played.
Yes, great idea to
Yeah, 'cause I was like, yeah,
remaster a card that
that thing was banned way before links were even in the game.
Okay, see you, Ori.
See you next time, man.
Odds, yeah.
Well, it is starting to get kind of late in the evening, so does anyone else have anything to talk about?
Actually, yes.
Not really.
What did we
Let me
even
guess,
talk
y'all
about
haven't
during
seen
this one? I haven't-
the Geeks movie?
The what movie?
Huh?
Oh right, Kamen Rider Geeks.
Yeah, you gotta remember that only like 3 of us here have Kamen Rider inclinations.
It basically is this evil YouTuber that's good with swords fucks up a bunch of people.
Fair enough. I will remember that.
And Cossack dance. Like.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so who's next?
Me.
Oh yeah.
I just want to talk about Doctor Who again for the moment.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. That's fine.
Right, so first off, the Daleks was broadcast in color, and there were many complaints that it was chopped down a lot. Mainly to
Wait, what are you
fit
talking about?
the Daleks, the second ever story of Doctor Who. That was
Yeah, I know about the Daleks. What about the color?
the colorization was well done, but the editing was not.
Okay.
But then there's another thing is that An Adventure in Space and Time, a docudrama about Doctor Who's early days, has been rebroadcast with an edit, replacing Matt Smith with Ncuti Gatwa, who's the 15th
Okay,
Doctor.
fuck that. I don't like that at all.
Well, many people have interpreted it as similarly to Matt Smith, where it's the first Doctor looking towards the future of the show. And to be fair, this version was edited way better than the 2013 version. Let's be real.
I mean, can't really go that low.
Different production priorities. No.
Yeah.
And lastly, the first of 3 specials was out. The Star Beast. And as I said in the intro, it's good, except for the ending.
Yeah.
Do you want spoilers or non-spoilers?
No spoilers.
Right, so the writing is pretty good for the most part, save for a couple of cringeworthy jokes. They're basic one-offs.
Yeah.
David Tennant and Catherine Tate still have chemistry like they've never been separated on the show again. Yasmin Finney as Rose was actually surprisingly good, and it's good trans representation, which in 2023 is nice.
Okay.
And Miriam Margolyes is pretty damn good as Beat the Meep.
Fair enough.
I recommend you watch it, but be warned, the ending is kind of contrived.
Fair enough. Now, who was next?
Quickly touch on something.
I have something since I haven't.
No, you let Chaos go. He just got here. Yeah.
You know what? Fine. And by the way, welcome, Chaos.
And I have it. Thanks. And I haven't been in this stream. So I don't know if we talked about Yu-Gi-Oh at all.
Oh, we've already gone way past that.
Well, since I wasn't here, I would just like to bring up that, frankly, I'm kind of sick of the creating meta decks thing that Konami has done for the longest time now.
Well, how else are they going to sell?
Funnily enough, what you're talking about is was something I was gonna sort of touch on as well. But yeah, keep going.
Maybe it's burnout. Maybe it's just disinterest in the game because you got to pay to keep up with it. But we're getting to a point where cards can do literally everything. People thought Dragon Link, Orcus with Nightmare Mermaid, and Ibley and stuff was overpowered, and now we have some of the decks we do. I saw a Kashira Xyz with over 12 materials because it had something on it. And the guy was just able to put it into Zeus and activate Zeus 12 times. If someone can do something as ridiculous as that naturally in the deck, there's clearly a problem with the game. But I'm also just sick of it because, I mean, Danger Dark World's pretty good, but I guess a better example of, a deck that had potential, got 2 cards, and is now completely forgotten about, is Hieratic. It got, technically it got 4, but I don't count
When Heavenly
Seal
Spheres
because
came out, the people were like, well, maybe that'll be pretty good again.
No. But
I blame
Went straight into
just-
Dragon Link.
starting
if they're
that
gonna start profiting more and getting more people back into the game, they need to set a power level for everything so that they can't be completely overrunning the game and start leveling more decks out instead of creating continuous amounts of broken cards. And
I would like
frankly banning some of them because Ash Blossom, Nibiru, Droll, we're just gonna keep seeing them. And things aren't going to, like, cards aren't going to sell because they get fucked by this specific meta card. And that ruins hand traps in a way of ruin the profitability of the game, if you think about it.
Okay.
And people's major excuse is draw your out.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's not fucking happening most of the time.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. And even if you do, they're gonna just negate it.
Like, it's genuinely a matter of, if you're not playing a meta deck, if you don't get your starter, and at least 2 disruptions, and 1 extender with a singular shit card, going second or first, you're done.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a stagnant, boring thing that people are disinterested in, which is why Master Duel is profiting despite the crazy ban list it has.
Yeah.
I would like to throw my 2 cents in.
Right.
Go for it.
Yes, it can be annoying that meta deck X now are doing way more than meta decks back in like 2018. But I would argue that the meta decks are better designed now than back in say 2018, because they're not as susceptible to degenerate loops as it was back then, and even those that aren't very meta relevant.
Well, then it becomes more of a conversation as what do you perceive as degenerate? Is what you perceive as degenerate the same as what someone else perceives as degenerate? Is there a communal understanding of what degeneracy in the game looks like?
Degeneracy kind of, like, how I define it is something that creates a board or an FTK that just nobody can stop. But sometimes people I like to
You can look at high potency combo decks as being degenerate because they establish a board very quickly that can't be broken through.
And what I see the term thrown around when referring to decks that just splash with each other. Like Danger Dark World's a good example of that had a bad rap for a while because like they just splash together, but they're 2 different archetypes. They shouldn't splash together. And Dragon Link, even though it was just an example of a very fucking creative deck. I know what it did and how powerful it was, but it's also commendable in the fact that it was a very creative deck.
As like Dragon Link is the first engine deck.
Even I have to admit, I still love my Dragon Link, despite it being very rocket leaning.
Right. So what I wanted to talk about is sort of adjacent to all this. It's sort of the discussion of I sympathize a lot with what Chaos is talking about, and this isn't a problem that exists in a lot of other TCGs, and you have to ask why. Why does this issue seem to be exasperated in a game like Yu-Gi-Oh, where it isn't really that big of an issue in a game like Magic the Gathering? So Magic the Gathering answers it in a way that, okay, if you don't like what the current format looks like, you don't have to wait too long before that format shifts. And the way they rotate that format, the way that they change that format is through both rotations and ban lists. This is why Magic formats don't have pages long ban lists where Yu-Gi-Oh does, because Yu-Gi-Oh only has in the TCG one official format that you can play that's eternal. So your card pool is from the start of the game to present. but that doesn't account for the card designs, how card designs or the priorities of the meta shift throughout the years. And this is where this sort of problem and burnout comes from. Is you're like, okay, well, these decks back then that were considered tier 0, they were broken at the time, were answered pretty quickly. But the decks we have now, just due to basic game design progression over the years, are doing so much more at such a higher potency, so much more consistently, and they're not considered to be detrimental to the experience. So it's either but because it's only got the one track to run on, you're going to at some point, it's inevitable, you're going to get tired of it. You'll try to answer it by saying, "All right, I'll play a roguelike deck, see how well it performs, and maybe you get lucky with it." But again, that'll only last so long before you're like, "All right, I'll try to build this deck." This is how a lot of people end up with 20, 30, 50 plus deck lists of decks they only play once or twice, because they're trying to look for other ways to answer the stagnant game design that is either I play meta or I don't play at all. You know what I mean? And
We do.
And Magic.
Sorry, go on.
Oh no, you go, Cass. You go.
Another thing I'd like to bring up is the fact that one point that also I like to highlight is that they create support for old decks, and it's either a hit or a miss. Like a Ishizu. Yeah. Ishizu was a complete hit that broke the game with tier limit.
Because it splashes into a meta archetype.
But Gate Guardian, I guess. Gate Guardian had potential with Kashtira for a second, I think. But then
Kashtira got demolished.
Kashtira got demolished, so Gate Guardian never got an opportunity. Though I'm glad, because of the double negate, that's pretty easy. That would probably be pretty easy to get out. But they make the support in order to make people believe. I genuinely think that they make the support not to actually make the decks better, hence fucking Dark Magician and Blue Eyes being trash, even though they got how many waves of support?
And
20?
it took God knows how long for Jack to get his own structure deck, which ended up making the deck, I'm not going to say amazing, but adequate. We can fight now.
RDAs have always been a rogue deck, not as potent as heroes, but it's just always been around. It feels like.
Side note, Renegade, I would suggest you look at YGO's couple of vids, because they are using Horus with Resonator and other stuff. See you alone. See you alone. Thanks for coming in.
You know what's the unnerving thing? I actually want to build Horus. I want to build Horus God card, but I need something. I need to figure out how many Thunder Speed summon I run and the deck numbers.
Oh, you're referring to Slifer. Nice. I was gonna say, because DPYGO mentioned a Synchro, Horus, and one of the Resonators in the structure deck, and someone made a deck that was pretty good. So I didn't know if that was something that was up your alley. But they basically make all this huge support, making people think that they're buffing old decks and they're gonna make this shit meta, and then they never do.
Yeah.
At this point,
the same thing happened with Relinquished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At this point, 2025 is just going to be rich kids, and nobody's gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Vanguard is becoming that.
Oh, yeah. I was saying this is the reason it's not a problem in Magic, and why Commander is the most popular format in Magic, is because the rules are handed back to the players. Right? There's a lot of player agency involved. You can police what you like to see and what you don't like to see, and you can have that conversation with your opponents and say, okay, well, what are you running versus what am I running, and how do we come to a common understanding so that we both have a positive experience. And Yu-Gi-Oh, just doesn't even have the facility to even begin to have that kind of conversation in the first place. And I think that's what's most detrimental from a game design perspective. And it's also why I find playing Magic a lot more enjoyable in general.
Yeah, and a lot of the content creators that we have are not people... like, Farfa and DPYGO do talk in very sensible ways and understand the game on an intricate level, but they're not gonna try to sit... They're not gonna try to sit all the content creators down in order to try to discuss the shit in order to actually create a change.
Yeah.
They're gonna create, like... They're going to create content that gets clicks in order to get to their reliable audience, not stuff to be, like, drastic and try to change stuff for the general better. It's like, and this is it's like in politics. And I know politics, bad thing, but bear with me, I'm not going to go into a huge thing.
Commander's
a lot of
very
people,
political.
tons of people would not vote collectively for something that would help the species as a whole, like the human species as a whole in the long run, if it meant it fucked themselves over in the start. Yeah. And I think, in a way, that sentiment applies to Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong. I see where you're coming from.
Maybe I'm taking a shot at the target and not hitting it bullseye, but hitting it pretty close.
You're getting close enough for us to see the point.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to say you're wrong, especially not about the content creator part, because when it comes down to content creators want what's best for the game, while at the same time wanting what's best for their content and their clicks.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an exception. I just play this game for kicks.
Yeah. I interviewed what was his name? Stephen Manella? He's dead now. He passed away. He was one of the Commander Rules Committee.
Oh, him, yeah.
Because, he created the Commander format with a bunch of guys, and I interviewed him. Basically, this was when I was still relatively new to playing EDH and Magic, and I asked him a lot of questions that a Yu-Gi-Oh player would ask about how they came up with their ban list. Because their ban list, it's an Eternal format, which is a larger card pool than Magic's, but their ban list only consists of like 20 to 30 cards. So, like, there's a much larger card pool, but a lot less regulation in terms of what's allowed. And, as a result, there's a lot of infinite combos, a lot of broken shit. But when I interviewed him as to how they came up with the ban list, he said the ban list wasn't supposed to be, it wasn't supposed to be written in stone. The ban list was basically signposts. They were guidelines. They're like, we came up with this format, and here's a list of cards that when we use them, just didn't feel very good to use or didn't create a very positive game environment, and so that's what they're for. Your play group, you guys can choose to use them or not. It's up to you guys, but we made this ban list just as basically a guideline. So like this creates a generally negative experience. So these are the card effects, the like basically archetypes of card effects that you want to watch out for. And if you want to use them, you can, but you have to have that discussion with your play group. And that insight as to how they generated that format and why there were so few cards in such a large card pool is why what really drew me into playing EDH and Magic in the first place, because it's basically an entire paradigm shift from Yu-Gi-Oh, where you have this article-long ban list, the one stagnant format. And you can see all the meta decks basically just do what each other do, just in different ways.
Yeah.
And that can lead to burnout a lot faster. It's like when I make a Magic deck in EDH, there's a lot more creative freedom and a creative space to work with as to what's viable and what's not.
For me, I would want just a deck to be simply enjoyable.
The problem
when you-
is that
when you-
enjoyable is such a loose term, we don't really know what that's supposed to mean across the board.
Going off
Yeah,
what Nautic said, I think the best way to explain what would be good and all would just be laying out the foundation of, okay, you can't make this kind of deck that make with this specific thing. Like, there's never been, and they should have fucking did this a while ago. There has never been any type of guideline that say you cannot make a deck that's purpose is to do this. That's why so many burn decks have existed. That's why FTK decks have existed.
FTKs,
That's-
OTKs.
That's why decks with that's why cards with unaffected have been created. They never set guidelines. They got a product that sold because of a television show, and then they ran with it, and then they did not make a foundation like Magic the Gathering seems to have, or whatever deck you had. I kind of spaced
Commander's
out
a
during your
community-based
monologue.
format. It was made by the community.
Yeah.
No, one
But
thing
they-
that I
they
would
lay-
say,
Sorry.
if you're if you're going to make a card say I'm unaffected, it shouldn't be as easy as blinking your eyes to bring out.
I will agree with that.
Fair enough.
One of the reasons that I picked up Weiss Schwarz as a second card game is because when you look down at all the mechanics, all the abilities, and all the things that every single series can do, they all do the same thing at their end result in different ways. You win by extra attacks, you win by burn, you win by clearing boards and preventing the opponent from recreating their boards in some sense. Every single series does the same thing at its core as a concept. The question is how they do it, what flavorful means they have to do it, and how representative it is of the show that it comes from. And that's something that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has never done. Everything does something different. And it's so hard to regulate that.
And in addition, they also do not future-proof. They very rarely future-proof their cards. Like when you see something that's future-proof, you can tell, but they do not future-proof anything. They also don't take anything into. They don't take banning something in advance measure because they created something that was completely and utterly out of control. Like there were multiple different decks, like probably a Shizu tier that was running rampant in the OCG that we would have gotten in full power, and just completely destroyed anything, and they did nothing. Why? To just sell it, get it off there.
I mean, come on now, it's a meta deck.
We'll ban all of it in a year when everyone wants to fucking leave, and they'll come right back.
At the end of the day, companies exist to make money. This is just one way they do it. No one's going to argue that point exists.
Yeah. Frankly, at this point, I'm just here with the game in order to make a couple of the water decks in the game. Maybe get Mermail, get Goaty, get Whitefish. I'm not going to mention anything more about Whitefish because I will make a joke you'll have to remove from the VOD.
Appreciate that. But actually, on that note, we are running past 2 hours, so I'm thinking now is probably... You're fine. You had every right to speak. I'm just saying it's getting late and some of us have things to do tonight. So, does anyone have anything else they want to talk about before we end the show tonight?
Nah, we're good.
I just wanted to throw in my apology because even though I tend to come in and not really do much, whenever I mention something, it tends to go into a huge combo.
You're fine, man. That's the whole point of why podcasts exist, to talk. But what were you going to say, mister?
One Piece is a great show. We should watch it.
Okay, so real quick, I've seen the Gridman movie this month. I enjoyed it. That is all.
Oh, well, okay. Short, sweet, and to the point.
I guess the only other thing that needs to be said is if you like this content and these discussions, you should like and subscribe to Nanashi. We get these.
Like and subscribe.
Thanks. Yeah, right.
That and join the Discord if you like you're a content creator or whatever.
I'm actually thinking about taking these. I'm thinking about taking these podcasts and chopping out like the segments and just throwing in a bunch of shorts. Honestly,
you should. I like at least for. Like you genuinely should, because there's the funny moments and there's also just the deep conversations that people will need to hear, and shorts is a great way to get it out.
I'll consider doing that then. Well, in the meantime though, I think this has been a great show, especially for the last show of the year. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yep.
Wait,
Yeah.
there's not
all of
one
you.
for the. Oh wait, it's December.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
December.
I
The
forgore.
next one's not till January.
All right, well, this has been a great show. I thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching us live, and thank you, everybody, for joining
So say
in.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We record these on the first Friday of every month, and since next year is starting, that means the first episode is going to be on January 5th.
Ooh, we're close.
That's the first month. Let's go.
In the meantime, thank you, everybody, for tuning in live again, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
All I want
Bye.
for Christmas
Is
is you.
Buy a stream rocking around the Christmas tree.
Hakusho.
Goodbye.
Oh shit! Wait, that could get copyrighted.